गोलियां तो चलती रहती है ना वहाँ पे, तो 2-4 गोलियां इन फौजों को भी मार दो।
The Hizbul Mujahideen's kill and maim Jawans threat.
चलती रहती है ना वहाँ पे।
A terror video inciting stone pelters to pick up a gun and kill Jawans. Valley Police on Hizbul hit list. The top focus on India first tonight.
It's a sinister threat to target security forces. Single out brave station house officers who've been spearheading a campaign to target terrorists and their hideouts in their area of responsibility, both North and in South Kashmir. Now terrorists are desperate and they're now targeting families of police personnel, targeting their parents, targeting their children, targeting their ancestral homes in parts of Kashmir. This has forced the Director General of Jammu and Kashmir Police, SP Vaid, to issue a warning to these terrorists. Terrorists must realize they too have families. I'm Gaurav Sawant. Terror's new game plan. Police and intelligence agencies in Jammu and Kashmir are keeping a hawk eye on some WhatsApp groups whose administrators have been found to be operating from Pakistan. Now, terror handlers in Pakistan are using WhatsApp and Facebook to direct stone pelters to where anti-terror operations are happening. Their orders for stone pelters are coming through these WhatsApp groups, some in the form of audio messages directing stone pelters to assemble in select areas where security forces are mounting operations against terrorists. This after terrorists send out a signal across the line of control saying they've been surrounded and they need help to get out. 35 suspect WhatsApp groups have been identified. Some of these WhatsApp groups are getting orders directly from Pakistan. We get you the full modus operandi in less than 2 minutes from now. There's a new terror video that has surfaced, and this one is from a Hizbul Mujahideen terror mastermind, a terrorist. Look at these images. This is where a message is being sent out. Zakir Musa is the terrorist who's inherited the mantle of Hizbul Mujahideen terror from Burhan Wani, and he's threatening to unleash terror on those who dare to cooperate with the police. That is one big threat as far as Hizbul Mujahideen terrorist organization is concerned. Some of their top commanders have been eliminated because locals have passed on intelligence about their movement to the Jammu and Kashmir Police Special Operations Group, also to the CRPF and the army, especially in the Tral area, which is considered a hotbed of the Hizbul Mujahideen in South Kashmir. Now, here this terrorist, as he's thrashing a youngster who's suspected to be a police informer.
हमारी कौम के साथ गद्दारी कर रहा है, उनके लिए ये एक नमूना है कि वो सुधर जाए, क्योंकि उनका भी यही हश्र होने वाला है अगर वो ना सुधरे.
Now, these youngsters are suspected to be police informers, but I want to cut across to India Today's Ashraf Wani for more on this story. Ashraf, you've been speaking to your sources in Jammu and Kashmir. Give us details what this video is all about, Ashraf.
Gaurav, basically this is the latest video which has been recovered and surfaced in the Tral area and then distributed on different social network platforms itself by the militants. Basically, they want to convey a message that they are going to punish the people as per the Sharia. What is their ideology and what is their thinking? Earlier, the videos which come off the Hizbul Mujahideen, they clearly said that if someone is going to pelt the stones, he should have the intention that he is carrying those stones for the Islam. And same thing is being conveyed in this video, where a youth, 1 or 2, are being beaten up by the militants in the Tral area. And as per the audio conversation, what is coming out from this video, here the Hizbul commander, who is from the Tral, who is active, is giving the message to the people that the youths who are indulged in the unsocial acts are extorting the people in the name of militancy or informers of the police, they will dealt the same punishment. And as per the Sharia,
this is very significant. This is very significant. Ashraf, recently there was another video where this terrorist commander was saying, pick up stone. He was reaching out to the stone pelters, to the Sangbaz brothers in Kashmir, and saying, pick up the stone, not for azadi, not for ideology, but in the name of Islam. So basically, they talk of Islam there, they talk of Sharia here. So what is this? Is this an attempt to have a caliphate in that area? Is this fear-mongering? Tell us what this video is all about, Ashraf.
Gaurav, basically clearly that the punishment given to the youth who is the local, who is visible in the video, may be identified in the Tral area. There were the allegations on this youth, as per the sources of the militants, that he has extortioned some people, and he has confessed also that with the militants, and he is being punished as per Sharia. And what is the motive behind circulating this video by the Hizbul group from the Tral or other people, or by the commander, is that probably they are going to act in the same way with the people who are against them, who are informers for the police and the army, and who will be working against them. This is clearly the threat to the people and the youth who are working against the cause of militants here in the Kashmir.
Ashraf, keep tracking that story. This is a news break by Ashraf Vani of India Today. We will continue to track developments on this story very closely. Remember, the writing is on the wall. Does Kashmir want Sharia? That's exactly what terror groups and their handlers in Pakistan want. Now, a day after India Today unmasked the real faces behind stone pelting in the valley, we continue to relentlessly expose valley's villains. Now, the Hizbul Mujahideen has come out with a new video. They're asking stone pelters to open fire at the security forces as they're engaged in counter-terror operations. The directive is very clear. Kill Jawans, maim the security forces to help terrorists. India Today's Kamaljeet Kaur Sandhu with this India First exclusive.
आप जहां भी जाओगे किसी भी इनकाउंटर जगह पे, तो आप वहां पे एक काम कीजिए, 2-4 गोलियां फौजों को भी मार दो। वहीं पे गोलियां तो चलती रहती है ना, वहां पे 2-4 गोलियां फौजों को भी मार दो। गोली तो थोड़ी किसी का नाम लिखा होता है, मार दो गोली 2-4 इन फौजों पे, ये भी मरे, मौत मरे।
Terror's new plan in the Kashmir Valley. This video was filmed at a secret location and shared on a terror WhatsApp group in the valley. It spread like wildfire across Kashmir. This Hizbul Mujahideen terrorist is perturbed by the successes of security forces in the valley and threatens those giving information to the security forces.
आवाम की ही अपील करना चाहता हूं कि वो हुर्रियत और मुजाहिदों के साथ शाना बशाना खड़े रहे और गद्दारी ना करे। गद्दारी से तहरीक को बहुत नुकसान पहुंचता है।
The desperation of the Hizbul Mujahideen terrorist is visible. In this 3-minute video, the terrorist is desperately seeking weapons and guidance from Lashkar-e-Tayyiba's terrorist Abu Dujana.
जवान तैयार बैठे हैं, अगर ऐसा हथियार मिल जाए हम लोगों को, जवानों को, तो हम हिंदुस्तान की दहशतगर्द फौज से लड़ने के लिए तैयार बैठे हैं। तो मेहरबानी करके मैं अबू दुजान भाई से एक बार फिर अपील करता हूं कि वो मेरी इस वीडियो पे गौर करके इस पर अमल करना शुरू कीजिए और 10 दिनों के अंदर अंदर मुझे इस वीडियो का जवाब दे कि हमें क्या करना है।
And then comes the chilling warning to security forces. The terrorist says they will come out with a list of a dozen station house officers of the Jammu and Kashmir police who have been carrying out operations against the terrorists. Listen to this terrorist plan to deal with the brave SHOs.
मैं अबूदुजान भाई से ये अपील करता हूं कि 10-12 SHOs ऐसे हैं जिन्होंने हमारी तहरीक को बहुत बड़ा नुकसान पहुंचाया है। बहुत जल्द मैं उनके नाम पूरे लिस्ट के जरिए पूरा उनका लिस्ट एक बनाऊंगा, पूरा बायोडाटा उनका बताऊंगा और वो फेसबुक पे शेयर करूंगा। अब मेहरबानी करके ग्राउंड लेवल पे उनका काम कीजिए। उनको मारना नहीं है, बस उनके हाथ काटने हैं, पैर काटने हैं, ताकि वो जिंदगी भर याद रखेंगे कि उन्होंने किस कौम के साथ गद्दारी की है।
The Jammu and Kashmir police have been bravely battling terrorists and trying to pull back stone pelters into the mainstream. But the terrorists have a deadlier plan to destroy the paradise called Kashmir.
The new terror video is a desperate attempt by terrorists who are not only attacking army personnel and security forces, but also their families. But the security forces in Jammu and Kashmir say they are up for the new challenge and they will retaliate to terrorists in any form. With camera person Vinod, this is Kamaljeet Sandhu in Srinagar for India Today.
WhatsApp and Facebook, new weapons that Pakistan and its sympathizers in Jammu and Kashmir, especially the Valley, are now using. Jammu and Kashmir police have identified and tracked down at least 35 WhatsApp groups through which stone pelters are organized.
Some of these WhatsApp groups have been traced out to the places across the border.
A chilling truth revealed by SP Vaid, Director General of the Jammu and Kashmir Police. WhatsApp groups whose administrators were traced back to Pakistan, inciting youth to pelt stones at security forces. The J&K police have carried out a detailed investigation. As soon as security forces leave their camps for an encounter, a complex network of spotters message relay teams to track their movement. Even before they can reach an area to cordon it off for an encounter, messages are passed on in multiple WhatsApp groups and Facebook groups telling people to assemble at the encounter site and pelt stones at the soldiers.
They are instigating the youth to resort to pelting and help the militant escape, which is very, very bad, very dangerous.
The administrators of these WhatsApp groups have been traced to networks in Pakistan. Terrorists and their overground workers have created several WhatsApp groups in North and South Kashmir. Each group feeds a further subgroup, and at times audio messages from either terrorists or their supporters are circulated both on WhatsApp and Facebook. Hear it from a stone pelter himself as he talks of the complex network in use.
कौन कहता है आपको कि भैया आज पत्थर फेंकना है, कल पत्थर फेंकना है या परसों फेंकना है?
ये दोस्त लोग सर मैसेज कर देते हैं व्हाट्सएप पे।
अच्छा, व्हाट्सएप पे? जी सर। तो आपका अलग व्हाट्सएप करते हैं या कोई ग्रुप बनाया हुआ है?
नहीं, ग्रुप बनाया हुआ है सर।
किस पर फेंकते हो पत्थर?
पुलिस पर, आर्मी पर, जो भी आ गया है सर।
अच्छा
जी।
तो आपको भी बताता है कि आर्मी को आज फेंकना है, आज पुलिस पर फेंकना है?
जी सर, पहले आगे से इंफॉर्मेशन होती है सर।
The J&K police have now started a massive drive to identify and neutralize the WhatsApp groups. The Superintendent of Police of Pulwama has already identified 35 suspect WhatsApp groups and is working to neutralize them.
किन लोगों पे स्टोन पेल्टिंग की है आपने? हमने फॉरेस्ट पे स्टोन पेल्टिंग की है और एमएलए पे, एमएलए की गाड़ियों पे, मिनिस्टर वगैरह जो उनके सपोर्टर होते हैं उनके साथ में। सरकारी आर्मी की दोनों, आर्मी आर्मी की और मिनिस्टर की। सीमनपुर से हमने एक पेट्रोल पंप लगाया था गाड़ी को, उसमें 2 बंदे जो थे।
आपने खुद लगाया था पेट्रोल पंप?
उनके से मैंने लगाया।
आपने लगाया था? 2 लोग जल गए थे उसमें पूरा?
2 लोग। आर्मी के, पुलिस के।
The government is also exploring the idea of stopping data communication services in select areas during counter-terror operations. At the same time, the effort is on to wean away youth from stone pelting. The police are also countering false propaganda of terrorists and their overground workers on social media. With Shujaul Haq in Srinagar, Bureau Report, India Today.
India Today's Kamaljeet Kaur Sandhu now joins me with the latest. She is in Srinagar. Also joining us is cybersecurity expert Pawan Duggal. Kamal, I want to come to you first. Tell us more about these 35 WhatsApp groups How are they operating? What more do the police know of them?
Well, the dark web is a new battle zone as far as security forces and the militants are concerned. And remember, this is not just stopping at WhatsApp and Facebook. This is going viral. So yes, many such groups. In fact, it was 35 in the beginning, but intelligence sources point out there are 300 such groups, 90 of them specifically based out of Pakistan. Now, the best thing about WhatsApp, which is working for militants, is that they can create short videos on their own mobile phones and circulate it. So the source of that video is not really known. The ones coming in from Pakistan eliminate that particular source itself. So it becomes very difficult even for the cyber security experts to dig out the detail of the source. So yes, it has become more complicated because militants are effectively using these, terrorists are using this as a form of challenge. And so even as security forces are drawn to that particular encounter site, they are troubled by hundreds of people who are gathering there at the spot, many incited by terrorists, many incited by militants, the separatists, who then land up at the spot and obviously diverting security forces' attention, and many of this has resulted in the terrorists escaping once in a while.
Okay, Mr. Duggal, is it possible to block these sites? 35, 90, 300. If you have these WhatsApp groups, why can't just data be shut off in an area where anti-terror operations is going on?
Well, clearly, every sovereign nation has got the power to turn off data, has got the power to fight these kinds of menaces. However, we have to quickly realize that the internet is not really dependent on these cutoff for data. These terrorists and these cyber criminals keep on using different new kinds of technological paradigms to go ahead and perpetuate their not just illegal designs, but also to propagate their various agendas. I think India needs to have a game plan in place as to how are we going to deal with this. Because if you talk to these service providers, they are saying, look, these are encrypted services. We have no control. And that being so, we will not be in a position to give the said data to you. I think it's time that India, which already has a lot of muscle power under the Information Technology Act, if it start implementing that, we could begin to see some change on the ground reality.
Now, if internet is that big weapon and information on mobile phone, it's instantly being transferred from one mobile phone to the other, it's being WhatsApped, it's being SMS'd, it's on Facebook. What are the police doing about it? They may have identified them. Then what, Kamal? How are they stopping it?
Well, this obviously complicates the situation quite a lot. The number of people who are turning out are quite a lot. Initially, it was limited to Mysuma or the Friday prayers right here in Srinagar. But now you see the intensity of the stone pelting is happening in rural areas as well. And what is mind-boggling is that even though the security forces between themselves have divided work with the CRPF and JKP effectively dealing with stone pelters, the sheer number itself is a challenge. Now, yes, we spoke to JKP police. They said they themselves are turning out to be counselors for all these youths. We spoke to some of them and obviously they said, okay, we're trying to actually understand that even the JK police and the other people are our own brothers and perhaps the entire idea of stone pelting is futile. But the sort of measure that has been put is very less. Again, the state government itself seems to have failed in the entire idea of reaching out to the youth.
Yes.
There is largely a lot of unemployment here. There are general areas of problem that has not been addressed. The areas and the measures there have been incidents where sporting events have been promoted by JK Police. There have been sadbhavna done by the army. So in a total sense, there is an attempt by the security forces, something that they are not actually required to do. This is something that the government needs to do, but seems to be falling not only short, but seems to be failing miserably in this.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And it's been going on for so long. But in this digital era where borders become almost irrelevant, Mr. Duggal, is there some way to stop WhatsApp messages coming from Pakistan, or they can be rerouted through elsewhere? Is there some way to put firewalls to protect, inflow of such information from Pakistan, from terrorists and their sympathizers?
Well, we have to quickly realize that WhatsApp has already provided end-to-end encryption, which makes it far more difficult for the law enforcement agencies to do what you're planning to do. So clearly, I think technology is going to be always a challenge. The bigger stuff will be India needs to have a well-defined approach on how to deal with these challenges given the cyber security frameworks that we have. And more significantly, it's time to start asking these service providers that you cannot tell us that you will not give us the information if it's going to be something on your network that could prejudicially impact the security, sovereignty or integrity of India, then you're duty bound to comply with the directions of the government.
Okay.
But I think
does it make sense? Does it make sense?
Otherwise, technology is going to constantly keep on providing.
Yes. No. To shut down WhatsApp, to shut down Facebook in areas where there are counter-terror operations that are underway. Is that possible? Because I remember when Afzal Guru was hanged, the entire system clamped down. Physically policemen went and they shut down mobile towers. So that way, rumors were not going out, information was not going out, and people were forced to stay indoors. Is that possible, sir?
That's possible, that can be done, but it requires a lot of manpower, a lot of planning. But quickly realize that given this world of mobility, once these cyber terrorists or criminals realize that the government is going to cut down on data, they would want to come up with new mechanisms, customized approaches, so as to continue to having access to this kind of information. So it looks on theory a great idea, except there are huge practical difficulties and challenges if you're going to implement it. I think we need to come up with a more holistic approach. Technology is here to stay. So the question is, how can we go ahead and try to address these challenges which have a direct bearing on Indian security, the Indian nation and Indian sovereignty at large?
Oh, absolutely. And what is the government doing on ground, Kamal? As far as the superintendent of police, we are told in Pulwama, he's identified several such troublemakers. Have they been rounded up? There are WhatsApp groups that are being operated, single people, some people operating multiple WhatsApp groups. Have they been identified? And more than identification, have they been checked, jailed? Is there a criminal case against them?
Well, yes, Gaurav, there has been a fire. And remember, this is not just limited to Srinagar. This is obviously seeing the entire domain of Kashmir. But yes, whether it is about Public Safety Act, which is slapped on these stone pelters. And remember, this is also a long drawn-out process. Until they go on trial, these particular stone pelters are supposed to report to the Thana once in a week. There have also been sympathies there with them, whether these youths should be given a second chance. Many of these people are actually divided, whether such youth should be given a second chance at all. Or not. We've seen way back in 2010 when the same thing happened and the amnesty was given. The other part is about a digital clampdown. Can there be a digital clampdown in 21st century? Now that's a question that really needs to be answered. But at this point of time, security forces believe that this could only be a small step in a right direction, but it cannot be a long-term solution. That perhaps it's the government who needs to kind of reach out and perhaps come out with better solution rather than completely depending on security forces.
Okay, also if terrorists and their handlers in Pakistan can use technology to their advantage, India should be a step ahead and use it to India's advantage. Make sure it's the terrorists and the sympathizers who are on the run. We will continue to track the story. There is some stuff that is happening on ground and India Today will be reporting on it because very soon you will see a significant shift. This stone pelting will not go on relentlessly. We will pursue the story. Pawan Dugal and Kamaljeet Kaur Sandhu, for the moment, many thanks for joining me. A quick break. That is all that we have for you on India First this evening. Up next, we'll talk about a story that has taken Meerut by storm. A controversy over singing Vande Mataram. That story and lots more coming up. Stay with us.